The village of Brindlemark lay nestled between two great mountains, their peaks shrouded in a perpetual veil of mist. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, where the rhythms of nature were the only cadence that mattered. Here, the villagers lived in harmony with the land, their lives dictated by the winds and the seasons. Among them was an old man named Kael, a scholar who had spent his life studying the ancient lore of Brindlemark. He was particularly fascinated by the language known as Aetheria, a tongue spoken only by the wind. It was said that Aetheria held the secrets of the past, whispers from a time long forgotten. Kael's obsession with Aetheria began when he was a young man, wandering the countryside and listening to the wind carry its gentle lullaby. He would stop at nothing to learn the language, poring over dusty tomes and seeking out wise sages who might possess some knowledge of the forgotten tongue. Years went by, and Kael's search became all-consuming. He spent every waking moment studying Aetheria, practicing its intricacies and trying to decipher its meaning. The villagers began to think him mad, for what could be gained from a language spoken only by the wind? One day, as Kael sat in his small study, surrounded by stacks of dusty books and parchments, he felt an unusual stillness. The wind outside seemed to be holding its breath, as if waiting for something. Suddenly, a faint whisper reached his ears. "Ethan, Ethan," the wind whispered, its voice barely audible over the crackle of the fire. Kael's heart skipped a beat as he recognized the word. It was Aetheria, and it was speaking to him. He felt a shiver run down his spine as he realized that the language held more than just ancient secrets. It held a key to understanding the very fabric of reality. The wind continued to whisper, its words carrying on the breeze like a gentle melody. Kael listened intently, committing every phrase to memory. As he did, he felt himself being drawn into a world beyond his own, a realm where time and space were fluid concepts. Hours passed, and the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the village in a warm orange glow. Kael remained seated, entranced by the wind's whispers. He knew that he had only scratched the surface of Aetheria's secrets, but he was determined to unlock them all. As the night wore on, the villagers began to retire to their homes, leaving Kael alone with his thoughts. The wind continued to whisper, its words weaving a spell of wonder and awe. Kael felt himself becoming one with the language, his mind expanding to encompass the mysteries that lay beyond. In that moment, he understood that Aetheria was more than just a forgotten tongue. It was a gateway to the past, a bridge between worlds. The wind carried not only the whispers of the ancients, but also the very essence of creation itself. As the first light of dawn crept over the mountains, Kael finally broke free from the spell of Aetheria's whispers. He felt changed, transformed by his experience with the language. He knew that he had unlocked a secret that few others might ever comprehend. The days that followed were filled with an unbridled sense of purpose. Kael spent every waking moment studying Aetheria, delving deeper into its mysteries and unlocking new secrets with each passing day. The villagers watched in awe as the old man's understanding grew, his connection to the wind and the land becoming stronger. Years went by, and Kael became a legend in Brindlemark. People would come from far and wide to seek his counsel, hoping to catch a glimpse of the man who had unlocked the secrets of Aetheria. But Kael remained humble, knowing that he was but a vessel for the language's power. As he grew older, Kael began to realize that his journey with Aetheria was not without its costs. The wind had changed him, imbuing him with a deep sense of wonder and awe. He saw the world in a different light, every moment filled with possibility and promise. One day, as Kael sat on the outskirts of the village, surrounded by the mountains and the mist-shrouded peaks, he felt the wind's whispers once more. This time, however, they were different, a mix of urgency and warning. "Ethan, Ethan," the wind whispered, its voice laced with an undercurrent of fear. "The balance is shifting. The threads that hold reality together are beginning to unravel." Kael's heart skipped a beat as he recognized the word. Aetheria was speaking to him once more, this time warning him of an impending catastrophe. He knew that he had to act, using his knowledge of the language to guide humanity towards a path of balance and harmony. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the village in a dark and foreboding light, Kael stood up, determination burning within him. He knew that he had a role to play in the grand tapestry of existence, and he was ready to answer the call. The wind's whispers faded into the distance as Kael set out on his journey, armed with the secrets of Aetheria and the power of the language to guide him. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and only time would tell if the old man could unlock the keys to a brighter future.